I've just landed 2 small bronze bream, which will give me 10 points. Obviously, I accumulate the points and it's what it is. So I'm gonna go for it and keep on looking for them fishes that are 60 points.
The night was quite difficult, but obviously as we are well experienced anglers and we're used to going out and fishing abroad in very, very bad conditions, we do have the right gear for this sort of night. We put on the thermals and all the proper protective gear, and then the waders on top, and we're perfectly fine. Myself, I didn't really feel any cold. I was perfectly fine, so that actually helped me to concentrate on the fishing and not thinking that I was cold. I started catching a few Besugo, bronze bream, which I didn't really like as they don't give much points, and I did need a lot of points. So I started to try and find other species, but at that moment with the low tides, there was only Besugo and some Boga. Boga is less points, so I was concentrating more on the Besugo, and at the same time trying to find good valuable species which would give me good points. Besugo y Boga hasta ahora. Todavía no he encontrado ningún pescado bueno. I'm still trying to see whether I can catch a nice fish. The tide at the moment is very low, which means there's not much depth in the water and the fish are very far away. When the tide starts coming in, which is what we're gonna fish tonight. Tonight we're fishing, we get all the tide coming up. Basically what happens is the tide starts coming up, the sea starts getting deeper, and the fish actually start coming nearer to the shore to feed on all the food which has actually come out. So hopefully that's when hopefully I can get a chance of catching a few fish.
I knew it was going to be a long 11-hour night of fishing, and I was prepared. To be honest, I was very prepared. I knew exactly what I was going to go, what I was going to target. I knew the tide was very low and the fish were going to be very far away. So obviously at the beginning I started fishing with a 0.10 line, not 0.1 line. That's very thin, very, very fragile, so you have to be very careful when reeling in. And obviously I started catching, I was one of the first ones to start catching the Besugos and having a bit more points than both my brothers and the other anglers there.
10, 20, 30, 40 a lo mejor. Y lo estoy pescando tranquilo, yo me pongo a pescar los besugos y hoy te harta hoy. Pero no uno, dos. O venían dos y ha soltado uno. Pero es lanzar y del tirón se enganchan. Y ahí viene. Dos besuguitos.
We had northerly winds Basically, it's the worst weather you can get. Did not help any of the angles that were there. The conditions were quite tough to actually secure good, valid species. And it was very, very, very cold. I think it must have been one of the coldest days in the winter, at least for me, personally. I managed to get a nice salmonete that gave me 60 points, and to be honest with you, I'm very happy with that fish. See if I can catch a few more. Ahorita.
Usually on the beach at nights when we have all night competition, after 2 a.m. I don't know why, the fishes always die down. No matter the tide, no matter the winds, after 2 a.m. it always happens on a beach outing.
Basically, the tide is still too low. The fish are stopping biting now. Basically, I need to wait until the tide starts coming in. Not good. A besugo and a boga.
The fishes are not too active. I am being lucky because I am grabbing the odd species out. So from time to time I am catching a couple of fish, but they are not active at all. So hopefully that will just give me the luck. I've caught a couple of different species, some besugos, a couple of decent besugo, voga. I've managed to land a mackerel, red mallet also. I reckon I have about 120 maybe.
Well, as the night's going by, the besugo and the boga are quite hungry by the looks of it. I've caught quite a few, but definitely not what I really want, to be honest. I think I'm close to about 100, 110, more or less, I reckon.
It started coming up, but still very low. It must be a small tide, and it's not really coming up as much as I wanted it to come up. Pero bueno, ya I think para lo que hay hoy, tratar de coger lo más besugo posible y tratar de hacer punto con besugo, porque no hay otra cosa.
Hours before the competition ended, I had already packed up and stopped. So I actually sat down beside Christian and Trevor, just behind them, not to bother them. They were right beside each other and they were having a fight for it, you know, they were having a battle. And suddenly I stopped, and obviously as soon as I got behind them, the fishes started to get active. Trevor was there behind Christian. They were, you know, Trevor would catch a fish, Christian would catch another fish, Trevor would land another one, Christian would miss, you know, and it was like, poof, is Trevor really gonna beat Christian? Oh my God, you know, in the last competition.
I had like 2 hours left on the competition, and I said, now I really need to give everything I can. The tide was really high. I knew that the fish were there. So I just started going and going and going. I caught another red mullet, another 60 points. I got another straight bream, another 60 points. I was catching good, valuable fish, which gave me a lot of points. And I was getting super close to Christian. I actually thought I was gonna do it. It was like a miracle. that was gonna be a miracle. I didn't know how that could have happened, but yeah.
He did a very good competition, managed to get quite a number of species with really good points, and at the end I managed to keep the second place. I think it was just over 60 points, which is nothing really, but I'm happy that I've come second, and obviously at beating Trevor, I always like to beat Trevor, you know. It's part of our rivalry we have between us.
I am super happy because I have been 3 years in a row finishing second, and this year, mira, it was my time. I've actually prepared myself for this. I've thought to the last second, and to be honest, I put my all. To be honest, I put my all.